When it comes to dream matches in professional wrestling, there's a few names that always seem to get mentioned. Sting, Kurt Angle, Okada, The Undertaker, Bret Hart, Kenny Omega, The Rock, AJ Styles, Shawn Michaels. Sometimes a dream match gets booked for a big show and sometimes it doesn't live up to the hype. We kind of expect a showcase of each competitor's greatest hits, but certain factors can lead us down a path of disappointment, and usually Father Time is the biggest factor in turning our fantasy matches into something we wished we never asked for in the first place. This wasn't the case at WrestleMania 21 when the Olympic gold medalist took on the Heartbreak Kid. Kurt Angle vs Shawn Michaels took place in 2005, a time when many consider Kurt and Shawn at the very top of their game, and I do think that if this match never took place, wrestling fans would have a Shawn Michaels vs Kurt Angle dream match ranked very highly as a match that they'd love to see. Thankfully, we did get to see this bout, and it surpassed expectations while stealing the show at WrestleMania 21. Today's video will look at Shawn Michaels vs Kurt Angle at WrestleMania, the dream match that became a reality. In 2005, the way the WWE operated in regards to their split rosters was quite strict. If you were a Raw guy, you stayed on Raw, and if you were a Smackdown guy, you stayed on Smackdown. There wasn't this laid-back attitude we have nowadays in regards to superstars appearing on different shows. In other words, the brand extension used to be done properly. You'd still see Raw superstars battling it out with Smackdown superstars, of course, but this only happened on special occasions or in carefully booked inter-brand matches, meaning that anytime a Raw superstar squared off with a Smackdown superstar, it was a much bigger deal than what it is nowadays. There was one event though where it was inevitable that Raw and Smackdown superstars would compete against each other, and that was the Royal Rumble. The Royal Rumble match itself then was used more than once to lay the groundwork for inter-brand WrestleMania matches between two competitors, and this is exactly how the Shawn Michaels vs Kurt Angle rivalry of 2005 began. Raw's Shawn Michaels eliminated SmackDown's Kurt Angle from the Royal Rumble match after Angle entered the Royal Rumble at number 20. Kurt completely dominated for the short time he was in the Rumble match, but Shawn was able to eliminate the Olympic gold medalist with sweet chin music. Angle returned to the ring a little later to destroy Shawn Michaels, taking away HBK's opportunity of headlining WrestleMania in the process. This interaction between Angle and Michaels at the Royal Rumble got a lot of fans excited. Put two and two together here, and it was pretty clear that HBK vs Kurt Angle was pretty much set in stone for a later date, with the bout likely taking place 2 months away at WrestleMania. There was really two stories running alongside this match. The first was the dream match angle. The WWE made sure to promote the bout as a fantasy match that's going to take place before our very eyes. And the other storyline was Kurt Angle's obsession with proving he could do anything and everything better than Shawn Michaels. Kurt wanted to prove that he was the absolute best in the business, and because many people felt that HBK had already cemented himself as wrestling's greatest performer, the Olympic gold medalist was hell-bent on proving to everyone that it was actually Kurt Angle who deserved the accolades and recognition. It's a story that told itself, really. If Angle wanted to say he was the absolute best, he had to prove it by beating Shawn Michaels. What we'll do now is look at each Raw and Smackdown that featured Shawn and Kurt in the run-up to WrestleMania 21, so we can gain a full understanding of how their story played out on television. During this time period, Kurt Angle was hosting the Kurt Angle Invitational on Smackdown TV. Kurt would give local talent and some WWE superstars a chance to win his Olympic gold medals. All they had to do was last 3 minutes inside the ring. On the February 3rd, 2005 episode of Smackdown, the Angle Invitational continued, but before Nunzio stepped up to the challenge, Kurt Angle berated Shawn Michaels. Kurt said that he had a great night at the Royal Rumble, even though he didn't win win the WWE Championship earlier in the show, and even though he didn't win the Rumble match, Kurt Angle destroyed an icon of the business, and that icon was Shawn Michaels. Kurt said that he stopped the showstopper, and he feels pretty good about it too. The Olympic gold medalist said that his road to WrestleMania will continue next week when he beats Rey Mysterio in the first round of the Smackdown #1 contendership tournament. And that was it really. Kurt went on to make Nunzio tap out to the ankle lock. The next week on SmackDown, Kurt Angle beat Rey Mysterio, meaning he was heading to the tournament finals at No Way Out. Over on Raw, things were continuing on as normal for Shawn Michaels. HBK was working against the likes of Evolution and Edge, and there wasn't much mention of Kurt Angle over on the Red brand. Then, on the February 14th episode of Raw, the coach brought a magazine to Shawn Michaels that coach picked up during the WWE's tour of Japan. There was an article in the magazine featuring Kurt Angle bragging about how he decimated Shawn Michaels at the Royal Rumble, and the coach wanted to know if Shawn Michaels was aware of what Kurt had been saying about him. Shawn said that Kurt Angle should be more concerned about his No Way Out #1 contendership match with John Cena, but to answer the coach's question, Shawn said yes, he is very aware of what Kurt Angle has been saying about him. Kurt should have took Shawn's advice, as John Cena was able to defeat Angle at No Way Out. The next night on Raw, SmackDown GM Teddy Long was in the building. There was uncertainty surrounding Royal Rumble winner Batista and which title he would challenge for at WrestleMania, so Teddy was there to try to sway Dave's opinion. Shawn Michaels had a word with Teddy Long. The Heartbreak Kid wanted Teddy to send a message to Kurt Angle. The showstopper was challenging Kurt Angle to a match at WrestleMania 21. Teddy promised to deliver the message, and on the February 24th episode of SmackDown, Taz tried to interview Kurt Angle in regards to HBK's challenge. Kurt didn't answer, he threw the mic down and he walked away. Shawn would get his answer though the next week on Raw. After an excellent street fight with Edge in the main event, Kurt Angle made an appearance, attacking an already severely beaten up Shawn Michaels. After delivering a suplex in the angled slam, Kurt Angle grabbed the microphone and he formally accepted the challenge. Shawn Michaels versus Kurt Angle was going to happen at WrestleMania. Eric Bischoff sent security out to remove Kurt Angle from the Raw arena, and Kurt left through the crowd, completely covered in Shawn's blood. Later on in the week, a guy wearing a hoodie came out to accept the Kurt Angle Invitational on SmackDown. Angle was fully expecting some sort of retaliation from Shawn Michaels, and naturally, Kurt thought that Shawn was under the hood. The guy revealed himself. This wasn't Shawn Michaels, but a cameraman who stood behind Angle began removing his disguise. HBK was right behind Kurt the whole time, and Shawn got a little revenge for the beating he took on Raw. Shawn was escorted out by security, and Teddy Long said he hopes there's no hard feelings here. Teddy is just doing his job by keeping SmackDown secure. Shawn said it's all good, he just came to SmackDown to get a little bit of action, he'll get the rest at WrestleMania. It's really from this point on where things began heating up, and most people will recall the next events. The whole tone of the Angle versus Michaels feud was set in place on the March 7th episode of Raw. HBK kicked the show off by saying he hoped his match with Angle could be a straight wrestling classic, but because Angle attacked him after the street fight on Raw, that now wasn't going to happen. With Angle attacking Shawn Michaels after the street fight, HBK had to retaliate, and because Kurt Angle couldn't just wait until WrestleMania, things were now personal. HBK then referred to himself as Mr. WrestleMania for the very first time when he said, "It's been a long time since old HBK felt that kind of rage from another man, and then it occurred to me, I know that rage. That's the rage that comes from doubt, from unanswered questions. You see, Kurt Angle, despite all the Olympic gold medals, all the Olympic accolades, all the world championships, both in your amateur career and in your professional career, you've never had the chance to go to the biggest stage of them all and display your ability against Mr. WrestleMania. You've never had a chance to hook up with the chairman of the board." On April 3rd in Los Angeles, California, you're going to get your chance to find out why they call me the showstopper. And once and for all, we're going to find out just who is the greatest performer of our generation. Kurt Angle appeared on the Titantron, and Kurt congratulated Shawn Michaels for hitting it right on the head. Kurt says that this goes all the way back to 1996 when Kurt won the Olympic gold medal. After winning the gold, Kurt went on to talk shows and he made media appearances, he signed autographs, but no one was talking about Kurt Angle becoming a gold medalist. Everyone was talking about Shawn Michaels winning the WWF Championship from Bret Hart. Angle said he put himself through torture to represent his country, yet everyone talked about Shawn Michaels wrestling for 60 minutes at WrestleMania. Kurt claims that if he went pro in 1996, he would have shattered every record that Shawn Michaels currently holds. And because Angle can't go back in time, he's going to do the next best thing. Everything that Shawn Michaels accomplished in his career, Angle promises to do in 4 weeks. The first thing Kurt would do to mimic Shawn's career happened on the 10th of March episode of Smackdown. For the Kurt Angle Invitational Challenge, Kurt suspended his gold medals from the arena ceiling and a ladder match took place. Kurt was trying to recreate Shawn's groundbreaking ladder match with Razor Ramon at WrestleMania 10 here. Kurt destroyed his opponent with ease, saying afterwards that if it was Kurt Angle versus Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania 10, then Angle would have beat Michaels in the exact same fashion. Kurt then shows some footage of the Rockers, Shawn's old tag team with Marty Jannetty, and Kurt announces that next week on SmackDown, Marty Jannetty will step back into the ring to wrestle the Olympic gold medalist. That same week on Raw, Marty Jannetty reunited with Shawn Michaels in a tag team match, and Marty performed quite well during the bout. A lot of nostalgia here for a lot of fans, but on SmackDown, after another surprisingly good performance from Marty Jannetty, Kurt Angle made Marty tap out to the ankle lock. And then we have the March 24th, 2005 episode of Smackdown, a night that many fans will remember thanks to Kurt Angle's excellent work on this evening. Kurt had another blast from HBK's past in the building, and Angle was very excited to bring a familiar face back to wrestling audiences. Halfway through the show, Shawn Michaels' theme music plays in the arena. We all thought we were getting a special Smackdown appearance from the Heartbreak Kid, but instead Kurt Angle came out fully dressed in Shawn Michaels gear while singing and dancing just like HBK. Kurt points to the entranceway and out walks Sherri Martel, Shawn's old manager from his early days as the Heartbreak Kid. This was done so well, and it worked so well because Kurt Angle went all in. Up until this point in the rivalry, Kurt Angle had been so vicious and aggressive. He was the badass heel of the feud, but here he is dancing and strutting around just like Shawn Michaels in order to prove a point. Whatever Shawn could do, Kurt Angle could do better. And then Kurt Angle and Sensational Sherri performed a duet, a version of Shawn's entrance theme named Sexy Kurt, where the Olympic gold medalist said he's just a sexy Kurt, he'll make your ankle hurt. Once the duet was over, Shawn Michaels appeared on the big screens. Shawn showed a highlight video that showcased just why HBK was Mr. WrestleMania and why HBK was the showstopper. And when Sensational Sherri got a little emotional after seeing the video, Kurt got frustrated and Sensational Sherri found herself in the ankle lock. Kurt Angle was excellent here though, and thanks to Angle's performance of Sexy Kurt, this has become one of the most memorable moments in SmackDown history. Props to Sensational Sherri too though, it was great seeing her again. The build-up was now pretty much complete. The next altercation between HBK and Angle happened on the March 28th episode of Raw. Shawn had a match with Muhammad Hassan and Kurt showed up from the audience. Shawn was able to get the better of both Kurt and Hassan here, not much more to say. On the SmackDown before WrestleMania, Kurt Angle got angry at Josh Matthews when Josh asked Kurt Angle if his strategy to get under Shawn Michaels' skin was failing. Angle ended up giving Josh a complete beating before delivering a message to Shawn Michaels. Angle said to pay close attention because the same thing that happened to Matthews is going to happen to the Heartbreak Kid at WrestleMania 21. A video then aired to show off the accomplishments and in-ring abilities of the Olympic gold medalist. And now we're at WrestleMania 21. Kurt Angle vs Shawn Michaels was placed in the middle of the card. The event was headlined by Triple H and Dave Bautista. With a short amount of time, Kurt Angle and Shawn Michaels had done very well in building up their story. This was about Kurt Angle proving that he was better than Shawn Michaels. Kurt's accomplishments meant more. Kurt was a better entertainer. Kurt was a better professional wrestler. And if Kurt Angle could beat Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania, then Kurt could prove that, without a doubt, he was the very best in the wrestling business. Shawn Michaels was Mr. WrestleMania. No one could outperform Michaels on the WWE's biggest stage, and no matter what Kurt Angle had accomplished in his past, Shawn said that it didn't matter until he stepped into the ring at WrestleMania with the Heartbreak Kid. Angle had relived some of HBK's biggest moments on TV to prove he could do anything that Shawn could, but now it was time for both men to answer a simple question. Who was better, Shawn Michaels or Kurt Angle? Kurt Angle said, "I remember him saying a week before WrestleMania, 'I'm not scared of you.' I thought he was joking and I started laughing, and he said, 'No, I'm not joking. I'm not scared of you. I'm not afraid of you.' I don't know where that came from because I'm pretty easy to work with, but I think Shawn was saying that no matter how badass you are, no matter what you did in the Olympics, I'm going to stand up for myself. So if you get in that ring and take advantage of me, then you're going to have a problem." Remember I said at the top of the video that some dream matches fail to deliver in the ring? Well, HBK and Kurt Angle brought their best at WrestleMania 21. With both men not being in the main event, a spot that Shawn Michaels and Kurt Angle had become quite accustomed to, both men went out to prove a point, and the story told during the match was excellent. I can't remember where I heard this, it was only recently I heard or read this perspective somewhere, but it's very true. Angle versus Michaels is kinda like what the WrestleMania 12 main event could have been if the Bret vs Shawn match wasn't a 60-minute bout. There's a lot of similarities between both matches that you may have missed. For example, in the Iron Man match at WrestleMania, everyone believed that Bret Hart would use his mat skills to slow down Shawn Michaels and wear down the Heartbreak Kid. This was Bret's strategy going into the match. HBK surprised everyone by playing Bret at his own game. Shawn was able to out-wrestle Bret numerous times in the early portion of the Iron Man match, and at WrestleMania 21, Kurt Angle had the exact same game plan. What did Shawn Michaels do? He out-wrestled Kurt Angle numerous times in the early portion of the match. Shawn started things off by slapping Angle across the face, and this fired up the Olympic gold medalist, going for a takedown right away, but Shawn was able to hang in there with Angle. Shawn used high-angle headlock takedowns to keep Kurt at bay, and the audience applauded when things went to a standstill. HBK even busted out a short-arm scissors hold, a quite uncommon move that hadn't been displayed all that often inside a WWE ring. Again, it's all very reminiscent of the Iron Man match, with HBK outperforming a technical wrestler at his own game, though the pace of the match would shift. A clothesline from HBK took both men out of the ring, and then we settle in for the second part of the match, the more traditional WWE style of match that both men were extremely proficient in. Shawn began clearing the Smackdown announcers table, but Kurt fought back, leading to Kurt hitting an angled slam into the ring post. Shawn started selling his back, a well-documented surgically repaired back. Kurt went for the kill with a body scissors inside the ring. Shawn gets whipped into the corner with an extreme amount of velocity, and a belly-to-belly suplex from Kurt Angle finds its mark. Angle begins playing up to the audience, and the crowd begins to cheer for the Olympic gold medalist. Kurt was now in control as the SmackDown superstar began to systematically wear down HBK. Shawn managed to get back to his feet, the two men traded blows, and Michael showed that he wasn't afraid of Angle by once again slapping Kurt across the face. This time Kurt answered by nearly taking Shawn's head off. Kurt Angle pulled the straps down, Angle goes for the angled slam, but Shawn reverses with an arm drag. Angle finds himself on the outside of the ring, and HBK delivers a diving crossbody to the outside. Angle tries to suplex Michaels from the apron onto the table, but HBK holds on. A desperation low blow helps HBK get Angle away, and then Shawn hits a springboard splash on Angle while Kurt was led out on the announcer's table. Both men crawl back into the ring as the audience is on the edge of their seats. Shawn's able to deliver his flying forearm, and Michaels builds up momentum, leading to HBK hitting the elbow drop. HBK begins pumping up the audience for sweet chin music. The band gets tuned up, but Angle grabs HBK's foot and the ankle lock is applied. Shawn tries to roll out, but Angle keeps hold. The audience is deafening as Shawn tries to reach for the bottom rope. Shawn eventually makes it. Kurt then signals for the Angle slam. We think Shawn has it reversed, but the ankle lock is delivered once again. Shawn is able to reverse the hold into a pin attempt. Angle kicks out. Shawn goes for sweet chin music, but Angle reverses with the Angle slam. Shawn kicks out, and the audience at WrestleMania 21 is now going completely nuts. Kurt Angle goes to the top rope, and his picture-perfect moonsault fails to hit the mark. Shawn then goes to the top rope, but Angle rushes to the corner, delivering an angled slam from the top rope. Shawn kicks out once again, and Angle begins screaming at Shawn to tap out. In the midst of Angle's tirade, Shawn pushes Kurt away, and we see the sweet chin music. Michaels goes for the cover, and Kurt Angle manages to get the shoulder up after a long 2 count. As Shawn slowly gets to his feet, Angle surprises everyone by grabbing Shawn's leg, and the ankle lock is applied once again. Shawn desperately tries to fight out of the hold. He's in a state of panic here, and things go from bad to worse when Angle grapevines Shawn's leg. Shawn's in the hold for an extended period of time before he's forced to tap out. An absolute wrestling classic at WrestleMania 21. Kurt Angle celebrates while shouting that he's the best in the business, while the audience applauds both men. Kurt leaves the ring first, and HBK gets a standing ovation before WrestleMania moves on to the next match. Kurt Angle had done it. He had proven he was better than Shawn Michaels, and there's nothing HBK could really do about it. This was absolutely the right call. Kurt Angle should have beat Shawn Michaels because Kurt Angle had more years to give here. According to Shawn Michaels' book, the decision regarding who should win at WrestleMania was not made until very late into the rivalry. It was apparently Shawn's idea for Angle to win, and it was also Shawn's idea to tap out to the ankle lock at WrestleMania. Again, this is all according to Shawn's book. Shawn said that Kurt Angle was extremely appreciative of Shawn doing this, but at the end of the day, it really was the right call. Kurt Angle had also done some tremendous work building up this rivalry, and I do firmly believe that the right man got the win here at WrestleMania 21. Kurt Angle said this about the match. Make no mistake about it, there were a lot of great matches at WrestleMania 21. There's always a lot of great matches at WrestleMania, but this match was really special. The reason I say that is because when we got done, we went back to Gorilla and there had to be 50 people giving us a standing ovation. That's when you know you've mastered the business. It was like magic. Shawn and I had never touched before, and to have that kind of chemistry that we had in our very first match, it never happens, period. It was the greatest match I ever had.
I think I'm cute. I got the medals. I got the moves that makes them all